What's up, y'all? Right now, there is a massive wave of fear-mongering happening in the GLP-1 online space from influencers, basically saying that if you microdose, it's going to wreck your receptors, it's going to burn out your receptors, it's going to destroy your metabolism. You're never getting a break when you microdose. This story, this scenario sounds extremely scientific. I'm going to show you the clinical math and why this receptor burnout fear is flat out being oversold. Then I want to show you what does impact the receptors negatively and what will end up impacting your weight loss results negatively as well. Ignore the glasses. The yellow lenses block the blue light. My wife says that I look like a wannabe celebrity pastor. I'm rocking them anyways today because it makes me feel nice and calm. I feel like the cortisol is just like, shoo. Let's take a look at the microdosing wrecking the receptor argument for just a moment. You see, receptors can and will be desensitized. That's real biology. And if you stimulate a receptor continuously, boom, 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 you will see desensitization patterns over time. But here's the first problem. What's being attacked online is a protocol that doesn't actually exist. And I'll explain myself. Nobody who really understands GLP-1 microdosing is telling you to inject a GLP-1 like semaglutide or tirzepatide, retatrutide every single day forever with no rhythm. Very, very few people are injecting every day. Clinically, when we split doses, it's usually smooth throughout the week, something like every 4 to 5 days. So you're not riding this spike and crash cycle like we see in conventional every 7-day dosage structure. Now, here's the second problem. And this really destroys the whole your body needs a break argument. Semaglutide and tirzepatide, they have about a 7-day half-life, meaning that even though you take it weekly, you're not fully off the drug at the end of the week. So it's still in its system activating your receptors. So when somebody tells you, oh, well, the reason why that the conventional 7-day dosing structure is so important is because they're saying you need to give those receptors a break. That extended period lets them recharge, so to speak. And if they're never getting a break, then it's going to lead to burnout faster. So if somebody says your receptors are never getting a break, I'm like, well, what break are we actually talking about here? Because weekly dosing is not like an on-light, off-light switch. It's not like you're completely off the medication by the end of the week. It's a slow fade. It's a slow dip throughout the week. And that's why this conversation really needs a graph to fully understand. Okay, here it is in one pretty picture. When you take one large dose every 7 days, you have a higher peak and a lower valley. There are two extremes in the blood concentration. What this feels like in real life, day 1 through 3, appetite is usually suppressed. Food noise is calm, it's quieter, and people are like, oh, I'm really liking my results of this GLP-1. Day 5 through 7, hunger starts to creep back. Cravings come back. People start thinking, maybe this isn't working anymore. Potentially, I need to be increasing my dosage. I would argue that this is not necessarily tolerance. This is just a roller coaster that you're putting your body through. The disparity between high and low blood concentrations of the medication. When you split dosing appropriately, obviously under prescriber guidance, you can still get those peaks and valleys. The receptors are still actually cycling. As you can see here in this picture, the key difference is that the valleys aren't violently as deep. You're not getting as high highs, you're not getting as low lows. So the same argument that these receptors need a break, if you want to live and die by that argument, is actually still happening with microdosing. It's just that instead of being starving and feeling like the medication's not working on day 5, 6, or 7, people tend to feel a little bit more steady. I mean, think about this. On day 6 of the medication, this is where we see people stepping away from their diet plan, eating more carbohydrates, snacking, and then blaming the medication for not working anymore. And of course, they're going to go to their doctor or just take it upon themselves to increase to the next dosage, which unfortunately, if you're following the back of the box, like most doctors do in the United States, which is insane to me, is going to double. You will double the medication. And now what have you done there? You have doubled the stimulation at the receptor. So if anybody who's thinking about overwhelming receptors should be very concerned about just doubling the medication every single time you feel like you need to improve the outcome a little bit. And this is the problem that we see. Just look here at this graph right here. Every 4 weeks, they are recommending a dosage increase. And this goes across the board for Zepbound, Ozempic, Wegovy, all of your conventional GLP-1s. They're telling you to increase it by 2.5 milligrams every month. Boom, 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 boom. Most doctors don't even care if you're losing weight, guys. Some doctors are wising up to this, but I'm still getting patients that come into my clinic each and every single week that have been burned, that are mad by the side effects that they've been getting. They feel like GLP-1s are a scam. And part of me feels like they're right. If somebody just literally increased their dosage over 3 months, 3 times, either they're not able to eat, they're feeling sick, they're feeling nauseous, and guess what? Their receptors have now been absolutely bombarded with GLP-1. It's hard to go backwards from that. I mean, it can be done, but it's difficult to go backwards. So the thing that's going to ruin your results ultimately is not microdosing. It's overshooting the minimum effective dosage and then just living in the side effects of the medication. Now, let's be precise real fast. Yes, the GLP-1 receptor desensitization is a real concept that we all have to deal with if we're going to be taking a GLP-1. But the leap from microdosing permanently burning out your receptors is just not how this is going to work clinically, especially when you're dosing every 4 to 5 days. Now, because we know that the GLP-1 effects can taper over time, like the gastric emptying effect, which is what keeps you fuller for longer, this can diminish or decrease with prolonged stimulation, meaning that the longer you're on the medication, we actually expect some of these positive effects to decrease a little bit. This goes whether you're on a really high dose or a really low dose of the medication. This is not the same thing, apples to apples, as your receptors are fried and you've ruined your metabolism. By finding the lowest effective dosage, you guys, we can increase in smaller units, 1 to 2 units at a time. When the body ultimately adapts and you're microdosing, you're doing things at a lower level, the lowest effective amount, you buy yourself flexibility. So yes, maybe over time we do need to increase the dosage, but not by 2.5 milligrams. Maybe just by literally 1 to 2 tiny little lines on your insulin syringe. It may come out to less than 10% of an increase at a time. And here's what I'm fighting for at the end of the day with my patients. GLP-1s are a tool. That's all they are. And we want the best of both worlds. We want the food noise quiet. We want to decrease the inflammation because we know they're anti-inflammatory at this point. Improve insulin resistance. Keep our muscle, for heaven's sakes. Keep that dose as low as possible. And build yourself an off-ramp so you can taper the dosage down later without this rebound whiplash weight gain. I just saw another influencer the other day post something that said, "Oh, I'm going to stay on this for the rest of my life," and encouraging everyone else to do the same kind of a mentality. That is just fine. If you want to stay on it for the rest of your life, awesome. But my goal with each and every one of my patients is not to have them reliant on a pill, an injection, a supplement forever. We want to reverse the insulin resistance that has caused your problems to begin with and buy you the metabolic flexibility to be able to come off of the shot. And you're not going to be able to do this by blindly following a standard titration of the GLP-1 without truly knowing what's happening in your metabolism. So, microdosing is not ruining your metabolism. It's not destroying your receptors. What ruins results is ultimately just going to be increasing that dosage endlessly, unmanaged side effects, and ignoring the root cause for you of what made that weight loss happen to begin with. So if you're just getting started on a GLP-1 and you want to do this the right way, or you tried it in the past, got burned, and want to give it another go and want to do it right this time, please apply to work with our team down below if you are looking for a comprehensive solution where we're going to step in, we're going to run functional medicine, root cause blood work. We're going to look at everything, put everything on the table for you. We're going to do GLP-1 customization to keep you on the lowest effective dosage without side effects. We're going to manage all of your nutrition and lifestyle medicine and help hold you accountable to see you to your end goal. This plan would be tailored for you to prevent you being part of the statistic, gaining all of your weight back or yo-yoing back after stopping the GLP-1. We don't want that for you. The link's down below. You can go ahead and apply and we'll have a conversation and see if working together is a good fit. You guys, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It helps. It helps the channel. If you want to watch another video like this one, please go ahead and see this video next. YouTube knows exactly what you're thinking because they're smart. Otherwise, guys, God bless. Have a great week. I'll see you then. Take care.